Few individuals are familiar with the heart. Your heart is, in actuality, one of the great creations. It is an incredible tool. Few people truly understand the delicate energy that makes up your heart, which is an instrument. Furthermore, as everyone has a heart, it is best to comprehend and get to know it well. In the majority of humans, the heart functions independently. Its behavior controls our life. However, its nature remains unknown. We fall in love if the heart occurs to open at any given moment. The love ends if it happens to close at any point in time. We become furious when our hearts hurt, and we become empty when we no longer feel anything at all. The heart undergoes modifications that lead to all of these many events. Your life is driven by these fluctuations and shifts in energy that occur in your heart. It's actually extremely easy to grasp the heart. It is a chakra, or center of energy. It is one of the most exquisite and potent energy centers, and it has an impact on day-to-day activities. As we've seen, your energy centers are places within you through which it concentrates, disperses, and flows. The opening and closing of the heart regulates the flow of energy. This implies that the heart functions similarly to a valve in that it has the ability to either let or prohibit the passage of energy. You merely need to look at your daily experiences to realize this. Events that occur in this world are seen by your senses and affect your inner state of being. These experiences could make you feel scared, anxious, or even in love. Your internal experiences vary depending on how you process and perceive the world around you. It's not truly true that your eyes are windows that let you see the outside world. Your eyes are electronic cameras that project images of the outside world onto you. This applies to every sense you have. They take in information from their surroundings, process it, send electrical nerve impulses carrying the data, and finally render the impressions in your mind. It's true that your senses are electronic sensors. On the other hand, you will oppose and refuse to let the energy patterns enter your mind if they cause you any distress. In fact, you block your own energy patterns when you do this. This is a crucial matter. Let's start by examining what it would be like to have no stored energy in order to gain a better understanding of what it's like to have these energies stored within you. What if everything just went through you in one piece? For instance, there are undoubtedly thousands of trees along a roadway. You don't get any impressions from them. As soon as they are perceived, they vanish. You see automobiles, buildings, and trees as you're driving, but none of these things stick in your memory. It is only a fleeting impression that makes them visible to you. Even though they enter your perception through your senses and leave an effect on your mind, they disappear as soon as they do. When you're not at odds with someone personally, impressions flow easily. This is the intended operation of the entire perception system. It's designed to help you experience things, take them in, and then let them go, so that you may focus entirely on the next moment. You and the system are safe, as long as it is operating and functioning properly. It's just experience after experience for you. Experiences come in many forms: driving by cars, and driving past trees. Like a wonderful film, these experiences are gifts that you are receiving. They are into you, arousing and energizing you. You are genuinely experiencing a significant impact from them. Experiences are flowing in, teaching you new things and helping you develop minute by moment. You are being profoundly touched, and your heart and mind are growing. There is nothing that compares to the experience of life if experience truly is the greatest teacher. To live is to be in the moment that is happening to you, to experience the next moment that comes along, and so on. You will be through many diverse experiences coming in and going out. When operational, this system is incredible. You would be a completely conscious being if you could exist in that state. An awakened being lives in the now in this way. They are there. Life is present, and life itself is going through them in its whole. Every moment would be an enlightening and poignant experience, because you would be totally open to life flowing through you. Just picture yourself being so entirely present during every life event that it touched you to the core of your being. However, that's not how most of us feel on the inside. Rather, it feels more like you're driving along a street and everything is passing straight through you without any problems, including the cars and trees. Then something always seems to slip through at some point. One particular vehicle, a light blue Ford Mustang, had the appearance of being your girlfriend's vehicle. However, as it went past, you saw two persons in the front seat sharing an embrace. It certainly looked like your girlfriend's automobile, and at least it appeared like they were hugging. However, wasn't it simply another automobile, like all the others? No. To you, it wasn't simply any other car. Let's examine the events closely. There must be no distinction between one car and the others for the eye's camera. Light is reflecting off of things, entering your retina and leaving a mental image in your eyes. Therefore, nothing is changing on a physical level. However, the effect was lost on a mental level. You forget about the other trees when the next moment arrives. The remainder of the autos are hidden from view. That one car is all that's on your mind and heart, even if it's gone. It appears like you are facing a dilemma. An event has become trapped and there is a blockade. All the experiences that come after are trying to flow through you. Yet this previous experience is incomplete because of something that has happened inside of you. What becomes of the encounter that didn't survive? More specifically, if the girlfriend's automobile image doesn't simply vanish into deep memory like everything else, then what happens to it? You will eventually have to put it out of your mind to cope with something else, like the next stoplight. You have no idea that what didn't make it past you is going to completely alter your life experience. This blocked incident must now fight with life for your attention, and the impression is not one that goes away. You'll notice that you have a propensity to consider it all the time. All of this is an attempt to get it to pass past your mind. Although processing the trees wasn't necessary, processing this is. It became stuck because you refused, and now you're having issues. As you watch, the ideas begin to flow. Well, perhaps it wasn't her. Naturally, it wasn't her. In what way might that have happened? Within, ideas keep coming to mind. You become insane in there. Your inner chatter is only an attempt to process and release the blocked energy. In the long run, the energy patterns that are unable to pass through you are pushed aside and retained until you are ready to let go of them. These energy patterns are real and contain a wealth of information about the events that are related with them. They don't simply vanish. Events in life become problems when you can't let them go through you and remain inside. You might hold on to these patterns for a very long period. Maintaining a group's energy for an extended period of time is difficult. The energy first seeks to liberate itself by manifesting through the mind, while you consciously fight to prevent these events from entering your consciousness. The mind gets so active for this reason. The energy seeks to escape through the heart when it is unable to pass through the mind due to disagreements with other ideas and mental notions. That is the source of all the effective activity. The energy is compressed and pushed into the heart's deep store when you fight even that release. A samskara is the name given to that incomplete energy pattern in the yoga tradition. This term, which means impression in Sanskrit, is regarded in the yogic teachings as one of the most significant factors influencing your life. A samskara is an impediment, a holdover from the past. It's an incomplete energy pattern that takes control of your life. Let's first examine the physics underlying these obstructed energy patterns in order to comprehend this. The energy that enters you has to continue traveling, much like waves of energy. However, it still has the potential to get obstructed within you. The energy has the ability to simultaneously be in motion and remain stationary, and that is via revolving around itself. This is evident in planetary orbits and atoms. Everything is energy, and if energy is not contained, it will simply grow outward. Energy needs to enter the dynamic of circling about itself to form a stable unit in order for there to be manifest creation. Because of this, energy in the form of an atom serves as the fundamental unit of this physical cosmos. Energy revolves around itself, and as we've seen, when atoms release their stored energy, it has the capacity to demolish the entire planet. However, due to its equilibrium state, the energy will remain harnessed unless forced to do otherwise. Exactly this energy cycling process takes place with a samskara, a cycle of previously stored energy patterns in a condition of relative balance is known as a samskara. The energy keeps repeating this cycle because you are resisting experiencing these patterns. There's nowhere else it could go. You're not going to let it. Most people handle their problems in this way. Your energetic heart center is literally where this packet of cycle energy is kept. It stores all the samskaras that you have accumulated throughout your life. Let's return to the example of the light blue Mustang that resembled your girlfriend's vehicle in order to completely understand what this means. Upon being packaged and stored within the heart, disrupted energy patterns become essentially dormant. You can think that you've dealt with the problem and that you're done dealing with it, because it might appear that you were envious. You might decide not to even bring up the occasion with your partner. Since you were at a loss for what to do, you rejected the energy, which was then stored in the heart, where it could fade into the background without causing any problems. Even while it could appear to be finished and gone, it isn't. All the samskaras that you have kept are still there. From the time you were a baby until now, everything that did not pass through you is still inside of you. These experiences, or samskaras, are what clog the spiritual heart's valve. The accumulation of that incrustation obstructs the flow of energy. The patterns of stored energy are authentic. In reality, a samskara is programmed with the precise facts of the incident that was blocked. Let's see what transpires in the future to see this. 5 years have passed, and you are no longer with your previous partner. You're far more mature now that you're married to someone else. One day, you're enjoying a great time while driving with the family. After passing the automobiles and trees, a bright blue Mustang with 2 individuals cuddling in the front seat goes by. Something shifts in your heart right away. There is a real skip in your heartbeat. It then begins to beat more quickly. You become gloomy, angry, and irritable. Your day isn't going as well as it used to. Your heart became aroused at seeing a certain type of car, which is the reason behind all these internal alterations. Taking a step back and examining this process is genuinely astounding. There was a brief time 5 years ago when something happened. 5 years later, a light blue Mustang drives by and alters the flow of energy in your heart and mind, even though you never talked to anyone about it. This is true, despite how absurd it may sound. It holds true for everything that didn't make it through you, not only light blue Mustangs. Why are we feeling so overwhelmed? It makes sense why the heart continues to open and close. The idea is that your life is impacted by past impressions, no matter how ancient they are. A comprehensive snapshot of the event can be stored by the samskara. It far surpasses any human-made computer storage system. Your heart contains a little energy bubble that contains all of this information. When it is activated years later, you immediately feel the same emotions you did before. The only perceptions that are shut out of all of these are those that result in issues or provide an unusual level of satisfaction. Yes, you also retain favorable impressions. There are 2 possible experiences that can obstruct the heart. Either you are attempting to keep energies close because you enjoy them, or you are trying to drive energies away because you find them bothersome. In both situations, by opposing and clinging to the flow, you are keeping them from passing and wasting valuable energy. Rather than holding on to or shoving life away, the alternative is to embrace it. You will transform every moment if you can live that way. You will be stirred to the core of your being if you choose to accept the gift of life rather than struggle with it. You will start to see the secrets of the heart once you get to this stage. The source of energy that keeps you alive is your heart. You are inspired and elevated by its energy. Your strength is what gets you through life. It is the exquisite feeling of love that permeates every part of your being. You should always have this going on inside of you. That is only the outcome of your openness, the best state you have ever been in. It could stay that way all the time if you don't close. Don't undervalue yourself. This can never end. Everlasting openness, unending love, and endless inspiration. That's how a healthy heart naturally exists. All you have to do to get to this state is let life's experiences enter and exit your being. Let rid of past energy right away if they resurface, because you were unable to handle them previously. It really is that simple. Just grin when you see that bright blue Mustang driving by and you don't feel jealous or afraid. Be glad that after all this time, this samskara has the chance to pass through you. It has been stored down there. Simply be open, let go, forgive, laugh, or do whatever comes to mind. Don't press it back down though. It hurts when it arises, of course. It will release with pain. It was stored with suffering. You have to choose whether or not you want to live a life where your heart is blocked and your options are limited because of unreleased pain. Alternatively, you could be prepared to release it when it becomes activated. The pain lasts for just a minute before subsiding. You must decide whether to go through this purification process or try to alter the environment so that it doesn't interfere with your samskaras. Avoid basing decisions on artificial barriers. Develop the self-control to simply observe these things as they arise. When you go deep enough within to cease resisting the patterns of stored energy, they will continually resurface and flow straight through you. They will resurface in your nightmares as well as throughout the day. Your heart will grow used to the clearing and release procedure. Simply let everything to occur. Put it behind you. It is too sluggish to process them one at a time. Remain steady behind them and release. The natural flow of your energy will clear the stored patterns from your heart, just as the physical body does the same with bacteria and other foreign objects. A heart that is always open is your reward. The valve is no longer present. You are nourished and strengthened by the love you dwell in. That shows a heart that is open. That is the heart's instrument as it was intended to be. Give yourself permission to hear every melody your heart has to offer. This clearing of your heart is a beautiful thing if you let go and unwind. Keep your gaze fixed on the best possible state for yourself. Simply get back up if you stumble. It is irrelevant. You are amazing just for wanting to go through this process of releasing the flow of energy. You'll arrive. Continue letting go.